Hi, I'm Robbie, creator of iPrecision and the iPrecision Animations app. This video is going to be taking through start to finish the process of running the animations, recording them, getting the data, analysing the data. It's not going to go into all the little details in this video. It's going to be a general view of how you go through the entire process. Before we start, first thing you need to do is make sure that you've got the latest version of iPrecision and the Animations app. Check them both separately. In each app, you go to Help at the top, check for updates, and it'll tell you if you're running the latest version. If not, go to iPrecision.com/downloads, download the latest ones, install them. License keys won't need to be renewed, anything like that. Just installing them onto the computer and you should be able to run with all the latest updates. And then into the Animations app, this is where you start the process. Choose your settings, dot color, dot size, background size, all of that sort of thing, and choose the animations you want to run. You can do as many or as few as you like. Sometimes for calibration it's better to keep it a bit short, like a few minutes in a row, start to get a bit of head movement, that sort of thing, a bit more than you would want. Once you've chosen your settings, chosen your animations, check if you want to run the calibration or not. You'll need that for data analysis. You can click start animation and it will tell you to make sure you're recording. For smartphone recording, make sure you've watched the video on the website at learniprecision.com. Make sure you know how to set up the phone to get the best clear pupil, get the distances right, put on a position marker if you need it, get the phone nice and close to the eye, make sure the lights are on. It's all explained in that video on the iPrecision website. Once your recording's going, click confirm and the animation will start. You start with the calibration, it's always the same. Dot moves to the left, 4 saccades to the right, and then it'll move back to the middle. In this part, really helps if you can get the patient not to blink, and keeping the head still is really important in this bit. This is where all the analysis is based on, so the app needs to know where the eye is when they're looking at the calibration part. After that, your animations will run through the list, as long or as short as it is, step by step. The only task is for the test subject to look at the dot, or if it's OPK, look at the stripes, or however you want to do that. Once the animation finishes, stop the recording. If it's on your phone, it'll save to your phone. And then you need to upload it to your computer. On an iPhone, to a Mac, that's how I'm usually doing it. Easy way is to use that share button down at the bottom left. And then click on AirDrop, or choose your Mac if it's already on the list. Send it to your computer. If you're using different devices, different types of computers, there's instructions on the website, again at learn.iprecision.com. Once your video is on the computer, you can move over onto the other app, iPrecision, the main app, and load your video in there. You can either click the load video button at the top left or find your video and drag and drop it in. Works exactly the same. Then you need to find the start of the calibration. That always starts with that pursuit to the left. So move the slider, make sure you've got that eye moving to the left. In vertical testing, that's the pursuit upwards. Make sure you've got that at the start, and check if there's anything you want to cut off at the end, if there's any kind of noise where the recording's not stopped when the video, when the animations have already stopped. Next step, set the contrast and exposure. Contrast is variable depending on eye color. Generally, you don't want to set it too high. You want a nice dark pupil. Pupil needs to be clear, that's the main thing. Then, as explained in the other videos, mark your eye, check that the pupil marking is correct. And if you're using it, mark the secondary marker, the head position marker, so that any head movement can be corrected. Start tracking, and the processing will take as long as it takes, depending on the speed of your computer. Once processing finishes, you can click on View Results, and you can see the video, you can see the graphs that are being produced. Check that there's not too many artifacts, watch the video, check that it's worked as expected. If not, you might need to go back and adjust the contrast and the exposure. check the head position marker has followed properly if you've used that as well. And you can see top graph, the horizontal deviation up is to the right, down is to the left. Bottom graph, the green line, is the vertical deviation, up is up and down is down. If you need to filter out any blinks, that kind of thing, you can use the filter settings at the bottom. Again, go to learn.iprecision.com to learn to use those properly for a more complete explanation. If you've used your filters, then make sure that you save the filtered graph if you want to use it, the filtered CSV file in any case. That's your data file that you'll be using for analysis. It'll save it to the same location where the rest of the files, the video and the graphs are being saved. Once you've saved your files, go back to the Animations app, click on Data Analysis. You should see the files or the animations that you ran in the queue, otherwise you can add them. And then click on Browse. Go to the location where you're saving your results from the iPrecision app. Find the test that you're looking for and choose the CSV file, either filtered or just eye tracking results. And then click on Generate Graph. And if everything's going right, you should see a graph showing the dotted blue line of expected eye position and the green line showing actual eye position at that moment in time. Time is along the bottom of the x-axis. If it's horizontal testing, up is to the right, down is to the left. And then you can get a kind of bigger, more interactive graph by clicking the Open Interactive Graph button at the bottom. Get other stuff out of the way. And then you should be able to see here the red line now is the actual eye position. This allows you to zoom in a bit more. You can see the precise details by hovering, and you can offset the time to if something's not quite right, or you can adjust for head rotation, head movement by offsetting the deviation. Once you're happy with this graph, you can save it. It will save onto your computer in the Downloads folder normally. And then if you open that up, you've got a PNG, so it's not as interactive, but it's usually a nice clear way of viewing the graphs, saving them and analysing them for later. Occasionally, if the test subject's head moves or they blink during the calibration, you might want to use manual calibration if things don't quite line up on the graph. Then click on the manual calibration button and you should see the pursuit and then the saccades. On this, you want to mark the 4 saccades. So just click on them. You see the red dotted line. Click on each of the 4. If you're happy with them, click on confirm. Otherwise, click on reset and do them again. Get them to line up as closely as you can. Click on confirm and then click on generate graph again. And then you should see that things line up as expected. So far you've seen horizontal testing. Vertical testing works almost exactly the same, except go to view at the top, click toggle layout and choose your animations. They should all run in exactly the same way as horizontal. Lining up the cameras a little bit different, that's discussed in another video, but the animations run in exactly the same way. The analysis runs in exactly the same way, except you need to make sure you click that vertical eye movement analysis button when you're doing the analysis. Otherwise the graph will not line up at all. Make sure you tell it that it's a vertical test. So that's the basic start to finish. There's lots more details available on learn.iprecision.com. And if you're having any trouble, email me at support@iprecision.com. I'm happy to help, email or call, whatever helps.